Good afternoon. Welcome to the mountains of COUPE. Beautiful mountain range behind me. In my pocket, I have a key fob. It's a BMW key fob. It's just an ordinary BMW key fob. Doesn't tell you which BMW it is. Welcome to Cliff on Cars. I'm Cliff. Next to me is the M6 COUPE. Behind me is the little quaint town of COUPE. The M6 is not a car that shouts M-Power. It doesn't have wide hips and a wide body, what we call wide hips in South Africa. The heart of this beast is a 4.4 liter twin turbo. The turbo sits inside the V. The car has a number of badges that let you know that it's an M6. On the front fender, it's badged M6, both front fenders. We come around inside the car. On the steering wheel, it is badged with an M sign. At the back of the car, we have M6 on the boot lid, and of course, the quad pipes. Let's tell the entire story. Once again, there is no wide body, no wide arches on this car. Big diffuser at the back. Enough boot space for 4 people. The coupe is a 4-seater. However, it only fit kids at the back. There's not enough space for 4 adults in this car. If you want to take 4 adults in an M6, you'd have to go for the Grand Coupe, which is a 4-door version of this car. On the rim, it is branded M-Power. There's M-Power logo. Carbon fiber roof, as per BMW, lightweight. On the floor, M6. We come around to the front and we have a look at the front bumper, and you look at the scoops of the car, the scoops in the bumper, no fog lights, huge scoops, huge air intakes, M6 on the grille. just driving out of COUPE. Had an early dinner there. I'm now sitting in the M6 COUPE, the F13M, 4.4 liter, 0 to 100, 4.2 seconds, 7-speed gearbox, rear wheel drive. This BMW is quick. This is not the competition pack. So if this standard M6 is this good and that quick, then I'm sure the M6 competition is a riot. Let's talk a bit about the cockpit. I really like this cockpit, especially the color of the leather. This has a tan leather inside. It's very rare that you find in South Africa a BMW M Sport with a tan leather inside. You always find it with the black leather or the white leather. But I think the exterior color and the interior color really work well together. The tan leather against the black is beautiful. It's so lush, it's plush in here with a black Alcantara to top it off on the roof lining. Inside the M6, you get your normal toys. You get your sat nav, you've got your iDrive system down here, you've got your aircon, heater, two-way climate control. You have got back seats. However, those back seats are not big enough for adults. You can take 2 kids, but very small kids in there. It really is a 2-seater more than a 4-seater. This is a GT car. This is a Grand Tour. If you want to get somewhere quickly, this car will do the job for you. Easy. I've had the privilege to spend the entire day with this car. I've driven it in the wet. I've driven it in the dry. This car handles very well. The M6 COUPE is a Grand Tour, so it's a car for long journeys. But you can cover those kilometers at an alarming pace. You can go from A to B at one hell of a speed. This car is as quick as some supercars can get. 0 to 100, 4.2. I think 3.9 for the competition pack. However, you've got to be very alert because this car is tail happy. And when you put full throttle, even with the traction control on, you get a wheel spin on gear change. And that can unsettle the car quite a lot. I found myself having to grab the car, rest it on the car, and then bring it under control a couple of times today, especially when it was raining. In the rain, you cannot turn the traction control off. You've got to keep it on. But as a car, as a sports car, this M6 is fantastic. I'm now driving at 100 kilometers per hour. It is quiet, it is stable, it is civilized. I like driving a car that has 2 personalities. I can just relax, I can put on the radio now, and I can even listen to a radio talk show and just listen to conversation and be at ease and relaxed in these very, very comfortable bucket seats. These bucket seats are not designed to be racy. They're designed to be comfortable, and I really appreciate that. And that's a great thing about a GT car. Having said that, if I decide to put it into manual and start drawing the pedal shift, this car will take me to another dimension. It completely transforms itself. We have a fantastic heads-up display showing you the speed that you're driving, and it also gives you some warning information on it as well. So that's great. Don't have your safety belt on, you'll see it on the heads-up display. And I think that's wonderful. It's very well thought out, and it's very well laid out in front of me. I don't have to pick my head up to look for it, or put my head down to look for it. It's right there at the correct height. We have climate control. We've got a couple of storage spaces right here below me where you can store your stuff. Cigarette lighter to charge phones. All the creature comforts you'd expect from a car like this, you will find in this car. It's got a good lighting system. I mean, I'm driving on B roads and the lighting is great. Cornering lights. I was just thinking to myself earlier while driving this car. This car is so plush inside, especially with this color combination, that if I owned this car and I never got to own a Bentley GT, I wouldn't feel short-shifted at all, because I know that a Bentley GT is way more plush than this, but this is good enough. BMW really did a good job on the finishing on this car. The windscreen has a very angled rake. It has a very low roof, but for my height, it's great. I think maybe if you're a bit taller, you might find it a bit claustrophobic, but for me, I'm not a very tall guy, and I think it works out very great. I've got it on the comfort setting for the suspension. I think that's the best setting, whether you're driving fast or slow. We're on B roads now, and the suspension is just very, very subtle. It's not too soft, not wallowy. It's just giving me enough cushion, and it's also allowing the car to be dynamic at the same time. Would I take this car on a long trip? In a heartbeat. I'd drive this car from here to Cape Town just for a laugh. Just for the sheer performance blended with comfort. The M6 is an easy drive. Steering wheel is very easy. It's a precise steering wheel. It's a quick steering wheel. Definitely, I would drive this car long distance as a GT car. As the day draws to an end, I must admit, this car has offered more than I thought it would. Because you always think that an M3 is a focus car, or an M5 is a focus car, and the coupe would not really do such a good job at being those things. To the contrary, it is all of that. And a bag of chips. Now that we come into the electric era, and many people like myself are thinking, hey, it's time to start collecting some V8s, V6s, and V12s, because that era is coming to an end. If ever you're having the same thoughts, this M6 Coupe is one of the cars you should think of collecting. It's one of the cars you should think of having in your garage. Don't overlook it, because it's a great car. It's a fantastic car. BMW has really done a good job. Is it Bavaria? Oh, and then some. I'm now almost arriving back into the city. And it's with a saddened heart that my day has come to an end, because I've really enjoyed being in this car. I've enjoyed driving this car. I've enjoyed the ambience in this car. I've enjoyed the pops and the crackles. This car looks beautiful outside, and it's beautiful to be inside of it. 2023, this is the car that brought in the winter for me. The F13M BMW M6. What a piece of equipment. Thank you for watching. This is Cliff on Cars, and I'm Cliff.